you mentioned that you've been in other countries where democracy just started happening in those places, and you also mentioned that this is now going to be one of the first times where we have like the fewest amount of veterans in office, or having positions in office. So I'm curious, do you see any type of similarities with what's going on in America in terms of, I guess, the separation, like how divided our country is? Do you see any type of similarities between that right now and any type of other country where there is a lack of democracy potentially?
Yeah, I mean, one of the unique things, even though a lot of opposing views are suppressed by the media or big tech, you can still get your voice heard more now than any before, any other time before. So, and I don't want to like skip over that. I mean, it's a travesty where one side has the opportunity to silence the other side. That's a bad thing. That never in history has that ever been a good plan. Where you're like, what? I don't like what those other people are saying, so we're just gonna not let anyone else hear it. Or we don't like any of the other things that the other side has written down, so we're just gonna burn all the books. Or we don't like what the other side is videoing, so we're just going to bury that or ban those things, those thoughts, those ideas. That's a super dangerous precedent that has historically turned out to be a catastrophic idea. And that pendulum of freedom is swinging so far over to the tyrannical censorship side. Usually the people don't respond well. And so read history.
Do you think this country is kind of like more screwed than ever before? Or do you think it's that's more a byproduct of what's going on via social media, the just kind of, I guess, like hype, people talking about this being the most important election of all time and all these different things. Do you agree with any of that? Or do you think, being somebody that has studied history and served our country, what are your thoughts on that?
We had Jews in the millions being walked from their homes to a ghetto, from the ghetto to a train, from a train to a concentration camp, from a concentration camp to a gas chamber. And we were voting on what president was going to lead us to fight fascism overseas and inspire our men and women to storm beaches and climb motherfucking cliffs. If you, for a second, think that we just had the most important election in our lifetime, you're insane. Like, if you go back to a country divided, where you actually had a geographical line where a bunch of people thought that blacks should be able to work in cotton fields for free as slaves, and then we're going to vote a person to power that is going to, the first time in American history, leave up to the four founders' ideas of all men being created equal, then you are motherfucking insane. Like, you could, time after time again, from the Great Depression to World War II to civil rights to the Vietnam War to the initial invasion into Iraq, or after the two towers crumbled when radical Islam flew planes into the most important iconic pillars of American capitalism. And you think that right now, because we had an outspoken reality television star and a 70-something-year-old guy that might have dementia as our candidates, that you think you just had the most important, like, how, again, America, you are so gosh darn cute, like so cute that you think that this is the biggest moment in history. No, come on now.